Hey, we're in the shop today and we're going to work on our 2021 Skidoo. Now I'm going to set it up a little more the way I like to ride it. The way it comes from the factory, 50% of the people out there are going to love it. That thing lays flat, corners, no ski lift. I like a little more playfulness. It still lays flat, but I like to get the front end so I can wheelie across things a little bit easier. And what there is it was really cool what Skidoo did is they made the weight transfer adjustment off of this front control arm. By laying it flat makes it lay flat in the corners. By standing it up a little bit, we're able to get a little more rider interaction with coming back on it to get it to wheelie up. So what I want to do is actually drop this, and there's a procedure. They got it in the owner's manual, so don't throw that away when you get it. Look at the owner's manual and do a quick procedure, and you're going to make it a little more playful. This is something that should be done in the garage. It's going to be a little tougher to do trail side, but we're going to get to it. Okay, first thing we need to do is get it up off the ground, strap it, stand, but get the weight off the track. So what we got to do then is loosen up the track tension. And in the manual it explains how to do that and how to reset it. Now after we got the track loosened up, we need to actually pull the spring perch. Now anybody who has the manual springs, you want to put them to the softest setting, and then as far as we go with the running board controls, we want to back that off all the way. You're going to need to kind of hang on to this. There's some spring tension on here, so watch it. Don't get your fingers in between here and pinch. Get the nut off. Pay attention to the block, how it goes in. This only makes it a little easier, less tension back here. Gives us the access to this bolt that we need to take off and flip the eccentric around. So pull the bolt out, and this is our change. As you can see, this plugged the bottom hole. So what we'll do is drop this down. So we'll do is flip it around. So basically a total 180, plug it in there, and there's a nice locating pin here that goes into the rail. So now we're able to drop, we'll get the other side ready, and we'll drop them both down to the lower hole, which will change the angle of our front torque arm, causing it to be a little more lively in the front end, a little more rider reaction. You slide back, you're going to get the front end to feel a lot lighter. And one thing when you do this, there is a loose washer between the torque arm bushing and the rail. Make sure you don't drop that down. Make sure you pick that up, put it back in there. And very important, make sure you Loctite all the bolts before putting it all back together. Make sure when you're putting these in, make sure they're going straight. You might have to have somebody help you pull back a little bit on it. Make sure this bolt's going straight into this back collar, because if you get cross-threaded, you're going to have a mess. And you aren't going to just go to the hardware store and find that collar. Okay, we got our torque arm dropped, Loctited, tightened up, our springs back in place. Now remember, you did soften everything up, so if you had it set up a little more for yourself, make sure you put your springs back where you want them. Then the last thing to do, readjust the track, tighten up the rear axle, and go riding.